Welcome back to this 3D animation tutorial where we are going to be using Blender from scratch. So 3D animation, our cartoons we normally do watch from our system, and the Blender application is a free application. Just go to blender.org and you will see the latest version of Blender, and you install. It's just less than 200 MB or 500 MB. You're able to install it. So this is my Blender interface. So this is the interface. Anytime you click on Blender, this is what you will first of all see. Blender 3.1, new file, general, 2D animation, sculpting, VFX, video editing. Then so we are starting. Want to create a project from scratch, so you click on general. That's a general thing, and what you will see it will be very complicated. It's going to be a complicated view. Immediately you open it, don't worry, we are here to ease and allay your fears. So you see this kind of cube that is active. So this is our active cube, which you are going to be using to create whatever you want to create on Blender. So this is our tool which we are going to be using. So apart from these tools, there are different things. You have the file. You can open another project, open a new project, save it, edit. You can render your final view to export it to the audience. Then your window help, and now there are different modes whenever you open this Blender interface. The layout, we are currently in the layout mode. This is where we will be using to just try to see the view, the character, the shapes and everything. Then you have the modeling mode, where you will be using it to model your shape, your cube. So just like we call it edit mode. So the layout mode is for objects. So this object mode, the basic things you can do, you can move your tools, move your cube. So if you click on G on your keyboard, just click on G. G is to grab your cube. So I have clicked on G and I can drag my cube towards the X, Y and Z axis. So just click back on it, and I can also click on letter S to scale my cube downwards, upwards. Okay, so, and I also click on arrow to rotate my cube. Those are just some basic things you need to note on this Blender interface. And now another keypad, just calm down and take it step by step. Another thing you need to note, whenever you want to drag it, we have said G is for grab, R is for scale, and R is for rotate, X is for scale. So if I want to move it towards the left and right, what I will do, we have X, Y, Z. X is to move horizontally. So just click on GX, and you see that it is moving on this X axis. So if I click back again and I click on GY, and you see that it is moving on this Y axis, and if I click also again and put GZ, sorry, I made a mistake, GZ, it will go up and down on the Z axis. So that's just the some basic things you need to know in this Blender interface on moving your shape. Same likewise, I want to scale my shape, I can press SX, it will scale. Oh, it didn't work. If I click on SX, it will scale my cube towards this angle, and if I click on XY, it will scale my clip towards this Y axis. Same likewise XZ, and it will scale it upwards and downwards like you have a wall, something like this. So let's just come back, and also arrow S, rotate it towards this point. Okay, we have arrow Y, you can rotate it towards this point. See, we have a standing font. Okay, you can also do arrow Z, and it will scale towards this direction. Alright, so we are progressing. Calm down, we are progressing. You are a 3D artist, animate. So that was the basic thing in this object mode. Let's go into the next mode, which is modeling. You can either click it through here or you can click it through here. So we have edit mode, same as modeling. Then there are different tools here: move, rotate, scale, transform, annotate, measure, add cube, extrude region. So many skills that we are going to talk about in the future tutorials. All right. Then there is select mode, edge select, face select. Let's just quickly do something. So I can just face select here, and this is the face has been selected, the faces has been selected. So I don't want to confuse you right now, just we are moving on sculpting. So this is used to create some different parts from a particular cube. This is the sculpting mode. You can use it to create different parts on a particular view, and there are different tools here that you can use. So if you want to sculpt a character from scratch, this is where you come to. There's UV editing, texture paint. That is your shadow, your texture. That's the color of your cube. You can adjust different colors, put different color shading. Then there's also animation. This is where you like put certain keyframes into how you want your character to move. So you can just add a keyframe here and adjust your character, and you will have added a keyframe to it. So we have rendering. There are different rendering modes that you can select. Let's go back to layout, and now let me show you some kind of view. You can click on Z on your keyboard. There are four different views into how you want your object to appear. You have the solid view, you have the wireframe view. This is where you'll be seeing the skeleton of your ship. So apart from that, there's also the material view, which will show some kind of solids. So there's solids, there's also rendered. This is how your final view will be when you want to render it. So still a lot to learn, So if you move towards this right hand side, there's camera. This is your layer. This is the camera. That's where the camera appears. So this is your camera right here. So you have the cube, the lights. This is where the light is showing and appearing from. So in this place there are different tools that I don't want to introduce to you right now, but one important tool you need to know right here is your modifier. So this is the modifier. This is what it is used to like try to add a double of your cube, so you will not be having to repeat it the same way. So just like double, creating double, we'll get to that very soon. So just like a quick introduction to the Blender interface. Blender used for creating 3D characters to animate and create stories